Ladies and gentlemen, members of the bench, members of the bar, welcome to another episode of Wakili Quick One. And today we have the honor of having Justice Ombija. So I will not speak much. I will the good justice is here. He's going to introduce himself, and we have a go at it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. My name is Nicholas Ombija. I am an advocate at the moment, but previously I was a judge of the High Court for about 15 years. Yes.
Okay. Let's start from early education, because most of our viewers are younger and are coming up in the profession, and some of them, like us, looked at your career over the period where you were a judge and some of the decisions that you made, and as we grow older, some of us will be joining the bench. Like, how did it start? Like, from high school, where did you go to high school, campus, and all that?
From 1 to Form 4, I was in Miranda High School. That is between 1970 and 1973. And I did my Cambridge School Certificate 73. And in 1974, I joined Kisii High School. And I graduated from that school in 1975. I was successful enough, and I joined the Faculty of Law in 1976. Nairobi University.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you used to have KSL back then? Or?
Yes, Kenya School of Law was there. The present dental school on Ralph Bunche Street. I think it's Ralph Bunche Street.
Yeah, down the road.
On the road, yes. That was the Kenya School of Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you guys used to have after getting done with campus? Did you used to go to NYS?
No. We did not go to NYS.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is that after Form 4, we went to Form 5 and 6.
Oh.
So I presume by that time we were mature enough. Because by the time you leave from 5 and 6, you are about 20.
I see.
Yeah, on the average about 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know the reason for the NYS, but I suppose people used to finalize Form 4 when they were pretty young, some 17.
Yeah.
So they needed, I think there was need for a grace period for somebody to mature up.
Oh.
I don't know, but I suppose that was the reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what now? You're done with Kenya School of Law. When do you get admitted?
After School of Law,
Yeah.
you get admitted soon after.
Yes.
That's soon after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did not used to stay for long
Yeah.
because we were few.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that time, each year the admission was only 60 students. So a whole faculty was 180. So you could graduate in one batch,
Yeah.
depending on how you fared at the School of Law.
Yeah.
And at the School of Law, I think by that time, the problem was actually professional ethics. That it was what used to delay people at the law school.
Yeah.
Because
Now
passing that
commercial.
professional ethics was very difficult.
As
Now it's commercial.
Commercial.
Was it commercial transactions?
No.
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't know what
that
it
is
is today,
now.
but professional ethics was the most difficult one.
Yeah.
Because it was not meant only for persons that you have done well in paperwork.
Yeah.
Part of it was your own way of life, how you conduct yourself.
Just for clarity, because I think maybe you could expound on what you mean, on how you conduct yourself.
You see, the School of Law is supposed to be a grooming place.
Yes.
And it's a grooming place for lawyers. And the lawyer is supposed to carry himself in a certain way.
Yeah.
In your manner of dressing, in your mannerism of speaking, mannerism of interacting with people.
Yeah.
And generally, how you are viewed by others, it should be different from other professions.
Yeah.
Yes, you should be polished.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's a place for polishing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how was that assessed?
Yes.
It was assessed according to the principal.
Okay.
Yeah, the principal of Kenya School of Law, who was a European by that time. Yeah, so it was, I think it was assessed according to the British standards. Yeah. Because we cannot ignore the fact that what we have as a legal profession has its origin in England.
Yeah.
So it is how the English people carry themselves in that profession that really is the benchmark.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now, having practiced with younger lawyers, or by younger lawyers in one way or the other, do you think that standard is still upheld, or has it dissolved?
You see, before I became a judge, I was an advocate.
Yes.
For many years, there's 22 years I was practicing law.
Yeah.
And during that time, I think we had very, very serious lawyers. Serious in the context that these were lawyers that were modeled after the English bar. Some of them were from the Gray's Inn and what else? What other inns is there in England? Lincoln and something like that.
Yes.
So, these are people who are molded differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those were the likes of
the likes of former AG, the likes of somebody like Kana, the likes of we have Noroji,
Feroz.
Yeah, Feroz. We have there's this lawyer who died in Mombasa. It was a very good lawyer. So these are all lawyers, Kapila, the Kapilas of the world. Yeah, so most of them were from the English bar.
Yes.
Yes. And their mannerism and their way of doing the practice was completely having that orientation, British orientation. Yes.
So when I was having a tete-a-tete with you, there's something that you're really passionate about, and it's how lawyers dress. And having lived in the era of the former AG, Charles Njonjo, he was very particular on certain ways of doing things, dressing. What would you advise a lawyer who's starting to practice now in terms of how appearance matters?
You see, appearance matters.
Yeah.
Because the first impression somebody creates about you is actually the last impression.
Yeah.
If you walked into my chambers and found me bare-chested or having a t-shirt, and you have come up with, say, you have a business proposal of $6 million, I think you'll think twice before you give me that brief.
Unless you're also wearing a t-shirt.
So here is somebody who walks into your chambers. He has got a serious business proposal. The first impression that you create is that you're a serious person. And even the setup of the office should be such that he can be comfortable. When he now says, look, put this $6 million in an escrow account as we finalize this business. So, and suppose he finds your office is not properly, you have not put everything in order, and yourself, you are probably having dreadlocks. for example. I mean, the first impression he might have is that you're a musician. I mean, yeah. So really, how you appear and how you the setup in the office really matters. It really matters. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about pupillage.
Yes.
And I think the first question around that is, was there any space for a non-court going lawyer at that time? Like right now, of course, now we have firms that are actually very specialized and do other things other than litigation. But back then, was there a place for that lawyer who was not going to court?
You're speaking for yourself.
No, lawyers. The way we were brought up, the lawyer was supposed to be somebody who does litigation.
Yes.
That is how we understood it in our era. So when you were trained, you're supposed to know how to handle yourself and how to handle cases in court. Yes. That's not to say there were no corporate lawyers. There were. But even those corporate lawyers, some of them used to go to court. Yes.
So when did you decide to become to move to the other side, which is the bench?
Now, after practicing for 22 years, I remember there was Court of Appeal session in Kisumu. And Justice Chunga had just been appointed as the Chief Justice of Kenya. So when he came for that circuit, we did some, as customarily, we hosted him by throwing a cocktail, the West Kenya Law Society. But that is after the court sessions, that is the close of the circuit. So I had done some 3 matters before the Court of Appeal successfully. And during the cocktail, the Chief Justice interacted with me and he asked me whether I wanted to be a judge. And I said, well, I wouldn't mind. And he said, fine. Book an appointment and come and see me in Nairobi. So I booked an appointment and went to see him. And again, he posed the same question that he had posed in Kisumu. And I said, well, having practiced this long, there would be no harm if I joined the other side. That was one of the reasons why I decided now to join the bench. But foremost, being elevated to the bench is every lawyer's ambition, because actually it is the summit of your career. Yes. It means you have been a successful lawyer. Because unlike today, where lawyers, judges are appointed through they sit what we call interviews. Previously, and in tandem with the British model, lawyers are not supposed to be interviewed to become judges. What happens is that it is the judges you appear before that now think in terms of incorporating you into the system. You appeared before them, they have seen how you present your cases, and they think that you have done enough on the other side, and you are good material for the bench. So you are invited. Yes.
So like a sort of a club thing.
It is a club thing. You are invited. They said yes. I mean, they have seen you. They have seen how you do your thing. And then they decide now, look, this is a good material for the bench. But under the new constitution, you see people sit for interview. And judgeship is a calling. It is like priesthood. Interview doing interview actually dilutes the whole thing. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a calling. If you're a priest or you are a teacher, you are a teacher. And it just shows that you're a teacher. There is something in you that people can now identify and say, this is a good teacher. Yeah. Like at the college level, I can mention very good teachers that we had. You know, born teachers. They're not just there because they want money. Yeah. And see?
So that I don't also lose a point on whatever you're saying about a calling, and also about just connecting it with another point that you had said earlier about the number of people. You said you were about just 60 students.
No, about 60. No, not about. We were 60.
Yes.
The 60 best?
Yes.
During our year, there were 5,700 and something applicants, and they chose only 60.
Only 60.
Yes.
Now, when you relate to what is being churned now in law schools, do you think we need to? There's a need for we put a cap to something and say
there should be a cap.
Yeah.
Because you see, there's that law of supply and demand.
Yeah.
If the supply is more than the demand, then it waters down everything. That is the reason why now a lawyer, say in Nairobi, is earning 30,000 shillings. You know, there are so many lawyers, and so the demand has gone down. Yes. They cannot be absorbed in the economy. So most of them are just walking on the street, briefcase lawyers. No? See? Look at it, juxtapose it with the doctors. The number of doctors that qualify at any given time are restricted. There's a cap. And most of them they are restricted also by qualification, because to be a doctor, you must. There's a cut-off point for doctors when you do exams. Right? So that even if you are the son of a dean of faculty of medicine, if you don't get that cut-off point, you will not be admitted in the medical school. You will not be admitted. Yes. But here now, there's no cut-off point. People as low as C minus are now getting into law faculties. See? That should not be the case. In fact, during that time, mostly you had to get something like a B plus. That could be the lower point. Yes.
Okay. Now, before transitioning from practice to the bench, this might sound like a philosophical question, but what was your assessment of the independence of the judiciary at the time? And with that assessment, did it assist you in making that decision to take that leap?
You see, the judiciary has always been independent. So far as I know, it has always been independent, because when I sat as a judge, there's no day that somebody told me that make this decision this way. You know, I don't remember any chief justice or any judge telling me decide this case this way. Yes. If you decide to be advised by somebody to do a case or to decide a case in a given way, I mean, that is completely wrong.
So you're saying it never happens?
It never happens. Nobody, if you want, it's fine. But they also assess you. Somebody like me, nobody can come and tell me things that I don't want to do, because I'm not going to do them. I'm a man of my own words. I do what I want, and what I feel is correct, which I can defend, and I go by my conscience. Yes. There's no decision I made that I actually was somebody was pushing me to make. I cannot do that, and I will not do that. All the decisions I make in life, even if it's outside the law, I make them with all my eyes open, so I can take responsibility for whatever I do. Yes.
So you've had a very colorful bench life. And I would want us to talk about the Bashir case.
Yes.
It's a decision that you made.
Yes.
and that had political ramifications in Kenya.
Yes.
And it's also argued that it's one of the reasons why you are not in the bench anymore.
Yes.
So when you're making that decision, did you just look at the facts and the law and forgot about the coexistence of the other arm of government, which is the executive, and the politics around it?
You see, the Bashir case was about implementation of the ICC warrant.
Yes.
The warrant had been issued by the ICC.
Mm-hmm.
It was just sent to Kenya for implementation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I looked at the principles of law involved.
Yeah.
And I made that decision based on the principles of law.
Yeah.
And I happened to have done my master's thesis on the ICC
Yeah.
statute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was well versed with all that the ICC statute demanded of me
Yeah.
in making the decision.
Yeah.
So I think I did what was expected of me in accordance with the law. I didn't look at the politics of it. Because if I was going to look at the politics of it, then it would have been a political decision. But this was a legal decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the government wanted me to look at the whole thing in a political way. That what is going to be the effect of it on the relations between Sudan and Kenya?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this man is an international fugitive.
Yeah.
So, elsewhere,
Yeah.
like if you remember, there was this case of Argentina. There was this man in Argentina who was a general there. He was arrested in London.
Mm-hmm.
The president of Argentina, is Argentina. Was it Argentina or Chile?
Pinochet.
Pinochet.
Yeah.
Chile?
Chile. Yeah.
Yeah, he was arrested in London
Yeah.
on international warrant, just like Bashir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did not arrest him.
Yeah. Who? Me?
No, we. As I can't.
No. I made a decision.
Yeah.
It was upon the agencies that arrest people to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me, after finishing my work, that was all.
Yeah.
So I left it for the minister in charge of internal security.
Yeah.
Yeah, to do what they wanted to do with him.
Yeah.
Now.
And it cost me my job because the Kenya government did not like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They thought that I went beyond my call of duty. But I thought, even today, I stand with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stand by the decision I made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the days that followed. Of course, you must know you trended. You are in all newspapers and all social media platforms. But let's talk about that in the context of the life of a lawyer or even the life of a judge, in how they deal with conflict that comes from them being who they are supposed to be. Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you manage to wade through the days that followed?
No, there were difficult days. There were very difficult days because, first of all, security-wise,
Yeah.
some people thought, some of my friends told me, be careful.
Yeah.
You know, it's very easy that you've attracted the government's wrath.
Yeah.
So anything can happen to you.
Yeah.
And what a number of people told me also, that you see, this decision will cost you a job, which it did last, finally, it did. But there's something about me, once I make up my mind on something,
Yeah.
I don't go back. So I made my mind when I was making the decision, and I knew it was not going to be easy for me. But nevertheless, I had to soldier on. Yes. I didn't fear anything. I'm not somebody who is fearful. Fear is not part of me. So I'm a very strong character. Yeah. So it didn't mean much to me, and losing my job was not really something that I thought was going to cost me my future, because my future is still here with me. I am doing very well. I'm doing my own things now, and I have regained my health. So I need not to worry about.
So, let's talk about the KCB case.
That's what I wanted to ask.
That's what you wanted to ask.
Yeah, because it ended happily.
Yeah,
at least it had some.
It's the first
good
time
outcome.
I saw someone, at least in this part of the world, taking such a bold step to go and sue an entity because of such an action.
And it has actually happened to me. It probably has happened to you as well. The time I went to pay, and my card could not go through, and I didn't think of going like against the bank.
It didn't embarrass you. You don't have character to be embarrassed.
What do you mean?
Yes, character.
What do you mean?
He's a lawyer.
If my clients are watching this, they will tell you I have a lot of character.
No, I mean, yeah.
I know.
Yes. Yeah. So what informed the decision as to let me go and
You see, if you, at that particular moment, I was stationed in Malindi. And on weekends when I used to come back, I had to do some shopping for my family. So on this particular day, I went to Nakuma to K. I went quite late because I was from the gym. I think I was there by around 9 o'clock. During that time, it was 24-hour service. So I did shopping, I think 2 trolleys. One trolley was for me to go with back to Malindi. Another one was to leave for my family for that week. So by the time I finished shopping, it was about midnight now. And I was meant to leave for Malindi very early in the morning. The first flight in the morning. I had to be at the airport by around 7 o'clock, which means I had to leave my house about 6 or 5:30. So by midnight, I'm still in the shopping mall. So when I went to pay, my card was declined. And I asked, what is the reason for the declining my card? He said, there's no funds. I said, no. At that particular moment, I had over 1 million shillings in my account. So I said, that cannot be true. So I insisted that they try again. So they tried again. The same result. They tried again the third time, the same result. So, when this is happening, there are also other shoppers
who know you.
Not only know you, they're on the line. You are taking so long on the line. So some of them, said, but you see, if you have a problem with money, I mean, why can't you step aside so that we I mean, we at least
as you sort your issues,
your financial issues. So see, which is also very annoying, And you had the money, so finally, I left empty-handed. Yes. Yeah. So by the time I was reaching home, it's about midnight. So when I reached home, of course, my family was like, "Where's the shopping?" And now I had explanation. I had to explain what happened, which is again more annoying. So how are you now leaving us? Because you're now going for another 1 week and you have left us here. So by the time I went to bed, it's about 2 o'clock. You know, I had also to eat. So that day I didn't eat because I just felt very bad about the whole thing. So I woke up in the morning with in a foul mood. So that is what is informed my decision to sue the bank. Yes, because they embarrassed me in front of many people. And of course, given the fact that I was a judge, again, that was another element. Because if I was just an ordinary person, nobody really would bother.
Like me.
Yeah.
As he says.
No, that is his own opinion. You matter.
I do.
See, you know, there are certain positions that if you hold, if people look upon you in a different way. If you're just an ordinary person, nobody would have bothered. But now, some of them knew me. They said, this guy, he's impecunious. Yes. Which is not very good. In public life, you should actually command the respect of people.
Let's talk about one more. And this one was that instance where you bought a house from a good friend of yours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, you know the minister, we went to school together.
Okay. In Maranda?
No, Kisi High School. When I was in Form 6, he was in Form 5. So he was my junior. So we knew one another well. For about 30 years. So when we struck this deal, it was on a very good note because I was buying something from somebody I know. Yes, this was not a stranger to me. And at that particular moment, I was actually stationed in Kitale. So when I came one weekend to check the status of the house and to see if they have left vacant position, I found a lorry outside the gate. And of course, being a minister, there was an AP guard outside. So it was like, what are you doing here? And I said, no, I am the new owner of this building. He says, I'm not aware. I said, fine, I'm so and so. Go and ask Madam. I think Madam is inside. The minister is not there. So he said, the Madam is still in the washroom or in the bathroom. And of course, you know, ladies take quite some time in the bathroom. They're not like men that take 2 minutes and you're off. So I waited patiently outside the gate. So she finished. So she recognized me and said, you come in. So when I entered, I found when the lighting system, like what you see here,
the chandelier,
they were not there. I said, what's happening? They were actually heaped in the sitting room. I said, what's happening? He said, these are our things, we are going with them. I said, no, but I bought the house as is. So what's happening? He said, well, you can talk to your friend. I don't know about the issue. You can now call the minister and talk to him. So I went to the minister's office subsequently. Not the same day, but subsequently. And I did not find him. And I left a note. A very good note, and telling, look, considering the length of time we have known one another, I think it would not be in good taste for us to start litigation on a matter as simple as this. Please consider the situation and please come back to me. And I waited for his response, and there was none coming. So I went back to Kitale. So I came back on another weekend, and I was at a petrol station along Wayaki Way, because I used to live in Loresho during that time. Now I met a friend of mine, and as we were chatting, I said, "Look, can I have your phone I use?" Because now anytime I called the minister using my phone, he was not responding. So I told him, "Look, help me with your phone. I want to make a call to a friend of mine." So he graciously allowed me and said, "Fine, go ahead." Which I did. And because it was not my phone number, he received it. I said, "Bwana Waziri, I'd come to your office, I'd come to your house, I'd come to your office, and I'd left a note. What is happening? You have not even told me." He says, "Well, let's meet at Intercontinental at 3 o'clock. So I went to the Intercontinental and I waited from about 3 o'clock until about 7 o'clock. He didn't appear. So I had zero option. Here is somebody that you know very well. Here's a deal that we made in a legal way. It was just as a contract, which was, and the house was sold as is. These things are removed. I tried to talk to him. He is not responding. He tells me to meet him. He does not come. So I thought he was belittling me. So I said, "All right, if this is let me now pursue this thing in a legal manner." That is the genesis of the whole thing. But then the press took it up. Because me, I thought it was a contextual thing. How the press now blew it out of proportion, I don't know. To me, it's like making a contract with anybody else. Because me, when I was making a contract with him, I did not consider him being a minister. That was not in my mind. This is my friend, my schoolmate. That's it. But now that it's treating me in a bad way, and I got annoyed. Naturally. And then I said, "Fine, the only way I know, because you can't fight physically, the only fight I know is legal." So I went the legal way.
I think I might have to.
And we dissolved the whole thing amicably. It never went far. After the case was filed, and the advocate on the other side and my advocate, we reached some kind of consensus, and he returned my things, and we are still good friends. I have no hard feelings towards him. We meet and we talk.
I also have a friend I need to sue.
You can do that.
He made a very bad comment
about
on
you.
camera. He just called me a useless person.
I take that back.
Can you apologize?
I apologize for that statement. So, on this show, we are big on mentorship. What should you advise the young lawyer of today?
The young lawyer of today, one of the things that I have not noticed is people graduate from the law school now at a very early age. Yes, early age, and they are also very ambitious. Previously, talking for myself, I stayed for 2 years without driving a car. I was walking to work. And I took it in my stride. I didn't really feel. I don't think any young lawyer today would want to stay for 2 years walking on the street, going to his house. I think that would look like he's not really a lawyer. That ego they have now is that a lawyer is supposed to be somebody who has arrived. You see, you probably have a house here, you have a car here, you have a family, or something like that. They should take things slowly. Things don't come overnight. Yes, Rome was not built in a day. Take your time. A car should not be the first priority in anybody's life, not even a lawyer. If I were them, and I was telling one of them yesterday, you buy some property first. Yes. Like if you are getting good money, why don't you have a mortgage? Yeah. So that you don't have this issue of rent over your head. See?
Yeah.
And slowly, as you gain momentum, the next thing that you should consider is probably to have a family. Because a family steadies you up. If you have a family, now you have responsibility. You are not going to be jumpy from place to place.
Like our friend here.
And then the car can come in later. You see?
Yeah.
These days there's Uber. I find it very convenient even for myself. Sometimes I leave my car at home, take an Uber. Because Uber, you are sitting at the back. The driver is struggling with the matatus and pick the motorbike on the road. And probably you are reading your newspaper, you know. Then he says, "Sir, we have arrived. So how much is it? 300 over," and you give him. You see, you cut down on fuel. You cut down on that tension on the road, and you arrive in the office when you are fresh. But you know, when you live in a busy place like Jogo Road or Wayaki Way, on a Sunday I take about 10 minutes to reach my office here. On a weekend, on a weekday, I take 2 hours. I leave the office at 5 and I reach my house at about 7 o'clock.
Wow.
So the tension
on the road
is too much. You see. Now, if you are a young lawyer and you are going to court, you have had that tension. Then you find also the judge who has the same tension. Then, you know, you're likely to clash in court.
Becomes a house of tension.
Yes, everybody's not having tension. The counsel, why are you late? Because they said, put the file aside. And they said, oh, my lord, you know, I was having a problem with the traffic. He said, but I also came in traffic. Yes, should have been here earlier. No. So my priorities, according to me, should be in that kind of. You first of all start with a mortgage, you go to a family, then go to a car. Because a car is a consuming commodity. It just consumes. There's nothing it brings. You see? Really.
There are people who consider it a tool of trade for a lawyer.
Probably then. But now with Uber and Bolt, I can reach Majakos in record time using a Bolt or an Uber. You see. Then you had to get into a bus, you know, or a matatu. Probably by the time you reach there, you know, you are not fresh. Somebody has put something on your coat and you say, oh, boss, you know, you have a problem here. I mean,
chicken.
See? But now things have risen. I think. So that is the priority that, the sequence of priority that I think. But you know, everybody has his own. There's some people, actually the young people, that they don't even think of marriage anyway. If you tell them about marriage, they shy away. I don't know whether you.
They're here with us. They are here with us. They are here with us.
They are not interested in those things. So they have their priorities wrong. You know, it starts with a car, which is
or a bike.
Yes.
Or a motorbike.
Then the next thing that he does is to have a credit card, which is another problem. See, I would not advise a young person to have a credit card. Because you will be spending money which is not yours. So now paying it back becomes a problem. I use a debit card myself, and I cannot go beyond what I have. If I have 20 bob, I can only use between 1 shilling and 19 shillings. The rest now can remain as a deposit in the bank. That's it.
On that line of mentorship, for a person who wants to end up in a bench someday, would you consider them to first practice for a while?
Yes, practicing for a while is a good thing. You see, law or any other discipline, you should go to a profession which you like. It is not something that you do because you want money. Some people go to law school because they want to make money, but that is for the wrong reason. It is something that you should be enjoying.
Yes.
Just like a doctor, if you enjoy treating people or enjoy medicine, I mean, teaching, the people who are they enjoy teaching. Yes. I have taught in the law school for the last, from 2017 to around 2020 when this COVID struck in.
Yeah.
And I thought I would have made a very good teacher.
Yes.
It was enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But now, if you go into a discipline because you want money, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Money should not be the driving force. It should be the love for what you want to do. Yeah. Just like somebody likes music.
Yeah.
He plays music. There are people who have graduated in law or in medicine, and then he ends up playing guitar, and that's it. And he loves it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You
see.
Yeah. So, I think I'll ask my last question. You've sat in the bench. What, in terms of jurisprudence, and maybe you could, when you look at it from the High Court level, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court, what do you think? What is? Are we bringing in jurisprudential value in our system?
Not anymore. It stopped around late 80s and early 90s. The judgments that we have are not very good these days. They're not good. Just compare. You, as a lawyer, look at the East African Court of Appeal. Go and read the judgments of some of their lordships there and compare with what we have here. And make your own findings. In my own opinion, those old judges were very good. And even as late as this vetting board thing, the judges we had in the Court of Appeal, the Omolos, the Bashires,
I would have tried to mention them. I don't know if they are the one you're looking for.
No, the judges for that in the Court of Appeal, they're very good. There were very sound judgments in the Court of Appeal. In fact, if you look at their judgments and these judgments, you can see the difference. So I don't know what is going to happen, but probably the current judges, you know, something like law, the longer you stay in it, the better you become. It is like wine. That is why judges retire at very late age, at 74 previously. When you are approaching now 60, 70, you become very good. If you look at my judgments when I started and my judgments when I was leaving the bench 15 years later, I think the last 5 years were the best. Because first of all, you gain experience, and then you stabilize, and then you now do the work that is demanded of you. You do it in a fairly good atmosphere. You are not somebody that somebody can say that you are doing something because may you be driven by certain forces. Because as you stay longer in a profession, just like a doctor, you know, an old doctor is different from a young doctor. So a young doctor is very quick in even coming to a conclusion. An old doctor, you will find, he will start even by looking at your eye. He will open your eye, said, can you lie there? He tries to check what is happening with you. He will touch the heart. He will go on the backside. A young doctor will go for prescription very quickly. Yes. So these things depend on how long you have been. It does, even if you are a driver, an old driver, 20-year-old driver is different from a young driver of 2 years. It's quite different. Yeah. These things go with the experience. Yeah.
The last question, and this one will be inward looking, and we want you to be as selfish as you can be. Where you are now, do you still have ambitions of getting into something else? I had seen somewhere that you would not mind having sitting in an international criminal tribunal of sorts. Is that still a dream you have?
I would not mind anything like the international tribunal. I would not mind even working for the government again in any position. Because now I have I've expanded my latitude of experience. I've been a practitioner, I've been a judge, I've been a teacher, I'm again practitioner. So what I've gained in the last almost 45 years is wasted at the moment. I should employ it somewhere where I can help this country. And there are many ways. I can sit in a commission, I can sit anywhere. But that is, it depends on the will of Kenyans. You know, a very, very sad example is this one of Justice Chunga. With a lot of respect, that is the best prosecutor this country has produced. And the other day, Nordin Haji, the DPP, wanted him to come and help him set up the prosecutorial desk. And the human rights activists were up in arms. So you wonder, here is a man with tremendous experience in what he knows best, and he was just setting up the office. He was not going to argue any case in court. He was setting systems. He said, come and help me set the system. See? And he's just rotting now. With a lot of... if you look at the kind of judgments that Chunga wrote when he was a judge, and you look at the cases he prosecuted, you can't believe that the Kenyans can just wash him aside. He's not worth it. Because what he was going to do there, he was not going to imprison somebody. He was just going to set systems. So why don't allow him to set systems and then go away? He's just helping. He's not suffering. No. He's enjoying his retirement, and you know his pension is very good as a Chief Justice. It's very good. But you see, you are wasting him. You see? Such people, and now retired judges, those are the people who should be resourceful now. There should be resource for the judiciary, resource for the legal profession.
And for the country at large.
Now you retire somebody at about 50 and you leave him to rot, and after the government has taken, you know, most of us were trained courtesy of the government. If it was paying school fees, some of us would not have been even lawyers. But we used to get, from Form 5 to Form 6 was free education. Then university, we were living on boom, you know, which was very little. It was 20,000 shillings a year. So having the government having done so much to bring you up, and then now that you have reached where you are supposed to help the government, then you are left to rot. I think it's a waste of resources. The government should consider employing such people in various fields, that there are many. You see, not full-time job, but you could be advising here and there and doing something that is useful to the profession.
All right. We have come to the end of the show. You are our first justice
Yes.
to interview.
Yes.
Actually, the first person who has ever been on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Other than SC Karua.
So
She said she was a magistrate at some point. She started as a magistrate. She said
she was a
started as
magistrate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you play it back? We see. We call you justice. Yes, I think that is it.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think?
Because
Because that's what you want.
Yes.
That's what I am.
Yeah, that's what he is. So.
Yes.
I hold the title until I die.
Yeah.